Hey guys, what's up? It's Rarecoin here, and today I kind of want to do kind of like a ramble video, kind of continuing on maybe why I haven't made a video. And the ultimate reason is because I'm actually fairly disappointed that I feel like Jagex really doesn't listen about PvP. Like, I'm one of those people who I would really like to get into PvP, but I don't want to get into it losing a bunch of money or spending a bunch of time fighting bots. Like, I want them to fix all their systems and get it all organized so that when I go into a PvP situation, I can start by going against someone on an equal skill level. I can go in with my friends and they can kind of like team up with me. And I think Odablock's last couple videos of him 2v2ing people and stuff and 1v2ing, I think that's what a real like PvP scenario that like they should be focusing on. And I know you can do this at Clan Wars, but we already have LMS for 1v1 game types, and as a player feel like if I wanted to play a Zerker build or a Pure, I would make one. In fact, I even have a Pure. I don't ever play it because I don't want to play it. I have so many other accounts that it's just not a type of account that I enjoy compared to most of my other accounts. And so them saying, okay, instead of making you bad at one thing, we're gonna just make it like PK builds and it's gonna be 1v1 tournament style and stuff. And that's not, I think, what the PvP community is looking for. Like, anyone who wants to PvP is gonna just go into the wild if they want to PK on a Pure or whatever. Like, they don't want to go into like a game mode with their maxed main account and then have their stats reduced to a Pure, so they have to let them to fight on a Pure even though they're never going to play on a Pure in their life, kind of deal. And this is just one little thing that's kind of disappointed me about the game. Another thing is I've been doing a lot of raids. I'll probably throw a couple clips in the background of me doing some raids on my group Iron Man and stuff. And while my team has been very lucky at raids, I have personally not been very lucky. I have one arcane scroll. I'm like 73 raids dry, and I don't think I'm necessarily like bad at raids or anything. I know I'm not the best, and like I die on some of my solos and things like that, but when you get 20,000 plus points average a raid, like, you would hope that you don't go super dry. But I understand, because one of my teammates is like 11,000 kills dry of a Dragon Warhammer, and I'm the only one so far that's gotten a Dragon Warhammer, and I only have like 1,000 kills. So I understand that, like, you can't be lucky everywhere, and other places you can't be lucky, but I like to do raids and stuff a lot, and so like not getting like any items from raids kind of demotivates me to do the things that I like to do. And so I'm kind of staying away from there, so there hasn't been much stuff to kind of put in the background that's kind of unique and stuff. And I do hope that they change something about PvP, so as an end game player, it's something that it's an activity that I can go do and stuff and have a good time and know what I'm getting into, instead of having that mystery. Am I going into the wilderness to fight one person, or am I going into the wilderness to fight 100 people and it's just me or whatever? So I hope that they can sort that out. I hope that none of this PvP stuff just like starts getting put into the game, even though it probably will. And I hope that they realize that like not everybody who PvPs right now is gonna go into this new system, and so they really have to be targeting people who don't PvP. And I think that it's a really good idea to kind of make a system that encourages more late game players to participate more often in PvP and stuff. And I think having an actual ELO system and not just saying, oh well, it's a plus minus system but it's not ELO, like, I don't think that's going far enough with their design plans and stuff. Well, now that I'm kind of done with my whole ramble on why I'm disappointed in PvP and not getting drops and stuff, I did kind of look at some videos recently, and I saw that in the Gillinor Gazette they actually posted that they want to release a bunch of quests from the old RuneScape into old school RuneScape. And I think this is a great idea. I'm not a fan of having quests just kind of bombardedly come out, because I'm one of those people who uses my music cape and stuff, and I like to do clue scrolls when I get them, and I don't necessarily want to have to like log into my main all the time to do a quest so that I can then do a clue scroll when I feel like it or whatever. But I do like certain quests in the game, and I think that like kind of like backporting or whatever they're gonna do for these other quests, like While Gothic Sleeps was like the most end game of end game quests that they said they could potentially do, and so this was actually one of my favorite quest lines in the entirety of RuneScape. And it's not because I paid attention to what was going on in the quest. I absolutely had no idea back in the day what was going on with the quest. I still spacebarred through everything. I looked at a guide, and now I think bringing it to old school presents a very big opportunity to change the way the game functions. And while I think this is maybe what you would call a hot take on things, when While Gothic Sleeps came out, it originally released Tormented Demons, which is basically the same as the Tormented Gorillas or the Demonic Gorillas, where they pray and they switch their prayers depending on how much damage you hit them and stuff. But ultimately, the Tormented Demons were the things that originally dropped Dragon Claws into the game. And they weren't so common that, you would just get them all the time or whatever. But what I would honestly like to see come out of this is I would like to see us have kind of potentially options on how to get drops. So while you may normally get Dragon Claws from Chambers of Xeric, and that keeps them expensive, there is a possibility that there's a way it could work so that Tormented Demons potentially also drop Dragon Claws, and maybe they drop all the unique dragon items: Dragon Claws, Dragon Hammer, Dragon Pickaxe, Dragon Hatchet, all those boss monster drops at an extremely low rate. I'm talking 1 in 25,000 for each drop, and so you're killing them knowing that you're probably not even gonna get the weapon or whatever, the tool that you want of the dragon items, but it has a chance to roll on potentially all the dragon items on a drop table or something. And so this would make it so that somebody who maybe couldn't do raids or something, maybe they don't have enough friends and they can't learn it or whatever, but they can go to Tormented Demons and have this really rare chance. And that's something I'd kind of like to see change about the game, because a lot of games, they focus a lot on legendary items and stuff coming from one major boss and stuff. But one thing we saw with Abyssal Demons over time is that they have the Abyssal Dagger drop now, and that's a super extremely rare drop, and nobody complains that it's on the table, but it's still super rare on a monster that already drops a pretty averagely good item, which is the whip. And so I would hope that potentially we could have a poll or something that says, hey, would you guys consider this kind of reward system where some older content kind of gives new options on how to get certain drops, even if it is, oh, we're putting in this old content and you're basically not gonna have a chance, but if you're lucky and maybe you go with a mask to Tormented Demons or something, somebody may potentially one time get a dragon pickaxe, and everyone's gonna be like, oh my gosh, you got a dragon pickaxe instead of dragon claws or whatever. And you can create kind of these you could make a mass room where people could go fight them all at the same time and just mow them down as a big group or something, and you can make all these new dynamics. And I really hope that we kind of see some new mechanics come into the game that kind of furthers the overall progress of the game, because one thing that has been disappointing me about RuneScape is that I feel like it's not moving forward as an MMO, and that's one thing that basically old school trapped themselves, I feel like, because we're stuck in this thing where don't advance the storyline and change a bunch of things about the game as the game progresses and moves on and stuff. And we're just stuck in this like internal, like, this is the time we live in the game, and there's nothing like changing about the game, even though we're like living in this game world that should always be changing. Now, if you enjoyed my ramble, please leave a like. It would really mean a lot to me, and it helps with the algorithm. And if you have an opinion whether you think the PvP system is actually pretty good or not, or if you think like, no, they shouldn't add quests from the old game and we should just keep adding new quests and forget about the old quest kind of thing, then let me know in the comments down below. I'd be really interested to know how many people kind of actually do want some of the older quests in the game, and what do you think they could do for some unique mechanics to, you know, make the boss fights interesting instead of just removing all their drops from their drop table and stuff. So let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one.